and my girl Key is in the house. What's up, Key?
Hey everybody, happy Friday.
Yes. We are so excited to be with you guys tonight. We are just oh wow. It's a lot. It's amazing. We're excited to have our husbands with us tonight on Victory Talk. So say hello, guys. Y'all notice my lovey.
Hey, what up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there? It just feels so good to be on the show. I finally get on the show. I'm the pastor. I just finally got on the show.
Oh my gosh. Y'all know this is not true. So that's letting y'all know already tonight they are in cut up mode. Even though our topic is a little deep, but they in cut up mode already. So, but it's all good. That just means we're gonna have a good time tonight. So y'all know how we do. Come on, let's get started. We want you to text somebody, call somebody, tweet somebody, tell them that Victory Talk is on and it's the marriage edition. And I don't know about you, but I know for me and for this guy, listen, we need our marriage editions, okay? We need our marriage ministry, our marriage group. We need our group of people to, to bounce stuff off of, to talk us down off the ledge, to keep us on, together. All right. So until we get back in the building, this has been so helpful. So, even though we have been facilitating it, we have been learning so much and, just the reinforcement. So our topic tonight is going to be very interesting. So just saying hey to the folks that we see out there already. Miss Victoria, we see you. Hey, how you doing, Miss Vicky? We glad that you out there with us. And there's somebody else on. I can't see who they are. But
Spencer,
Tia.
Ty Parker.
Hey, sis Tia.
Hey, y'all. Okay.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so y'all on here tonight. Y'all don't think hard of us, okay? We put that out there in the front, right, Key? Don't think hard.
Absolutely.
So tonight we are talking about vows, traditional wedding vows. We're gonna start there. The traditional wedding vows. Oh my gosh! Look, I didn't tell him. I know that you emailed him, but I didn't tell him. So I was just gonna kind of let him come with it tonight. But the traditional wedding vows, and this is like really interesting for Pastor Phil and I because we perform weddings, we perform marriage ceremonies, okay? So we marry people. So we say these, not only did we say these, to one another, how long we been married? I know. I'm just trying to.
Years.
I was waiting to see.
See, I ain't got no hair on my head.
I was waiting to see if you had it.
16 years. All y'all who've been married and y'all got hair on your head when you get 16 years, guess what? It all goes away. Enjoy it now.
Listen, I'll tell y'all later about the real truth about his hair, okay? Y'all know we real transparent. I'll tell y'all the real truth about that hair. And it ain't had, okay, so maybe it had a little bit to do with me. Okay, but maybe my thing was the gray. Yes, y'all that right there, that's me. I take responsibility for that. But anyway, so 16 years, we said these marriage vows to one another in front of God, in front of family and friends by way of the Reverend William A. Gray III. All right. But now I know, right? We perform marriage ceremonies. And shout out to one of the couples that we married 5 years ago, the Meisters, Otis and Kendra Meister. Happy anniversary!
Yes.
Yeah, so we married them 5 years ago. And so we are excited to see their growth. So let me just share these wedding vows with each and every one of you. And it starts off, you want to read something, Lovey?
No, not really.
Okay. It says, I blank, and I'm going to put my name in it. Okay. I, Jackie, take thee, Philip, to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor. Y'all listen to these words now. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance. And thereto I pledge thee my faith. We all are familiar with what they say, but how do we actually execute them is what we want to talk about tonight. Let's break this thing down just a little bit. We're going to break it down a little bit, y'all. We are going to explore some parts. We are going to explore some parts of the vow that are there and some that didn't quite make the cut. Because y'all know there's some that, got taken out because people quite didn't like the way it was sounded. So, number one, where we want to start at is I vow to offer forgiveness each and every day.
You know what? Miss Victoria has already changed the marriage vow. She got in here. I will love you, not going to obey, but will follow as long as you lead the right way.
Miss Vicky.
But you know what? They do allow people to write their own vows. I'm just saying. So
yes, they do.
You ain't say the one she said.
What she say?
She didn't say the one Miss Victoria said. She said the one you said.
Yeah.
So let's get into this because Miss Vicky, we're gonna come back to that because you already started. I see. Yeah, but we want to talk about forgiveness. I vow to offer forgiveness. I vow to offer forgiveness each and every day. Colossians 3:13 says, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. So my question is, do you think this is an important practice to for forgiveness every day as it relates to your spouse? Do you think that it's important to practice forgiveness? Because we all slip up. Philip slip off all the time, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all.
That was really something. We're gonna talk about forgiveness. We're gonna say he slip up all the time. Like you just walk on cotton.
Baby, you said I know you. So to our audience, what do you think? Michon, I'm gonna toss that over there to you. What you think?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of a question that's gonna get most of the men in trouble if they don't answer it the right way. But you know me, I don't hold my tongue for anybody. I really feel like I can't speak for all men. I know I can speak for myself and maybe my brother, but we don't really hold on to as much as y'all ladies do. So some things that when you will look for forgiveness, I don't even be thinking about what am I forgiving? I forgot about it already. Y'all hold on to stuff. We don't hold on.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
All right, now this is why. Okay, so this is not the way that we were intending for this to go. Okay, right. But y'all already know how we do. We can only be real. We can only be us. So, like Sister Lisa said on the prayer call, get your tissues ready because yeah, you're gonna be laughing. I thought she was gonna say get prepared just in case of some tears. No, you're gonna be laughing because these two is about to get themselves into trouble on question one.
Digging the hole already.
I think it's important to practice forgiveness every day as it relates to your spouse because not just not holding on to grudges, not going to bed angry and all of that kind of stuff, but when you hold on to things, we all know what the Bible says, we have to forgive others in order for us to be forgiven by God, number one. But number two, if we can forgive anybody else, you know what I mean? We can, people offend us on a daily basis. They hurt our feelings. They, make us cry, whatever. And we can move past that. We most certainly should be forgiving our spouse who is, I dare say more important than most other people that we come in contact with that may offend us.
At the same time, though, your spouse or the person you call your husband or your wife, they probably can hurt you more than anybody else in the world. So it's like it's harder to forgive a person that's so close to you. But sometimes, like I said, you holding on to something, and I forgot we was arguing in the first place.
I was trying to help you.
You ain't gotta help me.
No, I was trying to help you, and you brought it right back to it.
That's exactly where
Y'all see how I try to turn it around real quick, and here he go back. Y'all grudges, hold on to stuff. Sir.
Listen, we got in an argument one time. I don't even remember what it was for. See, that's my point. I don't even remember what it was for. But we got in an argument one time, and she was like, "This the same thing you did when back." Hold up, let me get my book out. It's the same thing you did, such and such, such and such. And I'm like, dang, I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, y'all hold on to
But
receipt.
wait a minute, hold up. Key, for real. You know, we do that.
We did that, but why are you bringing up old stuff?
Because you bring up old stuff.
Because that's what we get in trouble for. Old stuff.
Hey, look, hey, Phil, the sink be full of dishes. You like, you know what? I'm going to beat her to it. I get down the steps, start washing dishes, and I didn't do something. Oh, my goodness. And I come up and says, what, baby, I was washing dishes. Why you mad? Because the other day I said, you still talking the other day.
Okay, so to keep it real, we do sometimes. I do sometimes, but most of the time, I don't be bringing up old stuff no more. We're past that. 10 years, baby, this month, okay? We passed that.
You see my hand, Phil?
You ain't got the 16 yet. See, right now, you still got peach fuzz. 16.
Yeah. I woke up on the 9th and it looked like this. It ain't been back since.
Tia Parker said, why do we hold on to old stuff?
I don't know if we necessarily do it on purpose, but you know that old saying that goes something like, you don't remember. It's easier to remember like the bad stuff than it is the good stuff. Like you tend to, forget when they do stuff right.
That's crazy. I do stuff right all the time.
You know what? You know what? I was just talking to Jackie about this. We was in, I forgot, I think we was in Target somewhere. And she was talking about something happened. She said, you know what? I normally don't do those the reviews, but I'm going to do one now because she was upset about something. And I said, back when I was in the car business in my past life, in the car business, we had this 110 rule. If you gave somebody good customer service, they would tell one person. If you gave them bad service, they would tell 10 people. It's the same thing. You remember more of what we did wrong than what we did right.
That's not always true. That's
not always true.
That's not
always true.
Wait a minute, Miss Victoria said, as long as they don't keep making the same mistakes. And she said, it's because it sticks with us the longest,
yes.
The negative stuff.
And I think it's because, especially when it's something that is, it's hurtful. It's harder to forgive when something is so hurtful. And we had a situation a couple weeks ago. It hasn't been that long ago. Matter of fact, it was like last week, okay? Because this was the week leading up to us going down to Corinne's birthday. And we were out the early part of the week. We were out together. We were doing something. And he said something to me. He made a comment. He said something to me, and it was just like so. Okay, y'all know I'm real transparent, right? I'm real transparent. It really was a small thing, but it was one of those things. It just like it cut real deep. So we had taken, the have a heart to help stuff to one of the members, to them on their job so that they could take the stuff on Saturday because we weren't going to be there. In the back of her car, oh my gosh, her car was everything. Her car was neat. She had this little container in the back, and you know who you are. You know who you are. I'm talking about you. She had
Did it smell good? It smelled good.
It smelled good, and it was the stuff in the car was, the stuff in the little container was all neat. It had compartments or whatever.
Come on the trunk.
And yeah, she had a truck. She had.
I said in the trunk. You talking about like when you lift up
in the trunk? Yeah. So when you lift up her hatchback or whatever,
she had one of those organizer,
yes. And I said to Phil, oh, I like this. I need one of these. And he was like, all that stuff all over your car. You got mess and stuff everywhere. One ain't gonna do you no good.
No,
So,
what I
wait a
said,
minute,
hold up. First of all,
right.
so you see
I'm clutching my pearls.
how you see how being upset, you don't even know what I said. What I said is that your stuff will be everywhere anyway. That was the exact words I said.
Is that better than what she said?
A lot better.
Yes.
No.
No.
It's a whole
See,
lot
and
better.
my thing is this, okay? That was so the wrong answer because y'all know I have the SUV. He got his little nice Mercedes, and we barely ever in his little nice Mercedes, okay? And so, but everything we do together is in my car. So whenever he goes somewhere, whenever he do something, whenever he needs to move something or whatever, he take it in my truck. And so he just leaves stuff everywhere. But my point is that I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't nice. That was so the wrong answer because half of the stuff that's in here is not even personally Jacqueline's. I got the church stuff in there. I got his stuff, his job stuff,
What
the
the
grandchildren
What's up?
cords, and like the projector cord the other night, whatever. Okay, but and then
One cord. One power cord.
It wasn't just
One power cord. It was
wasn't.
it's this long and about that big around.
It wasn't one power cord.
It was a whole bunch of mess.
No, it wasn't.
Miss Victoria said, "Don't try to pretty it up."
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't try to pretty it up.
But my thing is, what I'm trying to get at is that it was such a hurtful thing. It was such a hurtful thing because I feel like sometimes we forget how to talk to one another. We forget how to respond with compassion, understanding, caring, kindness, those type of things. And so, although, you know, he realized that what he said was offensive, but I was so hurt. I mean, I was just like really hurt. And so he apologized when we got back in the car. But y'all, it took me 3 days. It took me 3 days to forgive him. I think the only reason why, not the only reason why, but the reason, I think the reason why I started talking to him was
because she needed something.
No, it wasn't because I needed anything. It's because I knew we was about to drive the next day. We was fixing to drive 3 hours to Virginia.
Listen.
And I was going to talk to him sooner or later.
I'm 10 years in now, Phil. I think I can say something about you're right, brother. Because they can hold on and not talk to us a whole car ride when they mad. She probably needed you to do something.
Car had to be packed. Stuff had to be moved. Dog had to be taken to the setup. I mean,
oh Lord, I'm about to move on.
Move on.
I'm about to move on for this guy.
Yes.
Start up again. So, moving right along, we've all heard the saying. We've all heard the saying, the grass is greener on the other side, right? So if you say the grass is greener somewhere else, you mean that other people's situations always seem better or more attractive than your own, but may not really be so. Number 2, I vow to never believe that the grass is greener. So I didn't find a scripture for this one, but rather a quote. And that quote states, when the grass looks greener on the other side, it is the Holy Spirit telling you to water the grass you're standing on. And that is a quote by Eugene Cho, and I just absolutely love that. So my question to you guys is, what does this quote say to you? You know, we all have different interpretations of things. What does it mean to you? And why is it important to not focus on greener pastures in this sense?
I'm going to tell you this. When the grass looks greener on the other side, I bet the water bill is higher too.
You know what I say about that, brother? Stop looking over in the neighbor's yard. Mind your business. Your grass will look just as good as you put as much time in your yard as they did in theirs.
But I think what it means
in defense.
I think what it means though in relationships as it relates to marriage you know how or just us and people in general, we might tend to, look at somebody else's situation, or you know what I'm saying, if your spouse gains weight, that now I'm this is not me. This is not me. This is not me, but I'm just putting it out there. If you say, that your spouse, gained weight or changed their hair, and you didn't like it, and then, say you prefer green hair or something like that, and your spouse changes their hair to yellow, you might then, see a young lady with yellow hair and be like, oh wow, she, whatever. So I think it's pertaining to that. Like, just because something looks good, doesn't mean, and you got to keep focused, keep your eyes in your lane where they belong.
I think for me, I kind of feel as though that it is important that we make sure that we are nurturing, watering, tending, repotting, okay, taking care of our relationships, because it is really easy for, things to get stale. It's really easy for things to, come undone, for somebody to feel as though their needs are not being met.
That's what I was trying to get to.
When somebody feels as though that their needs are not being met, they may, not saying praise God, we haven't had that real issue, but they may feel as though, oh, Susie Q, or I'm just talking to us, Kiara, me Sean got it going on over there. I mean, you must be taking really good care of brother. You cooking and look. He all trimmed up and he looking real good. But you know what? At the same time, not saying my love, he looking raggedy, because he don't never look raggedy. I take real good care of the brother, okay? But he could be looking raggedy and might need to shave, or a little pony curry or whatever. Maybe it's because I'm not tending to him the way I used to, or the way that you know what I'm saying. And
absolutely,
so we definitely need to make sure that we're not helping our spouses to be envious of what's going on in somebody else's backyard. We have to accept accountability for our actions, for what we are doing or not doing.
Yep. And Tia said the enemy uses the smallest things to try to get in and cause division. And we know that's right.
That is the truth.
And Miss Victoria about to get banned from the comments because I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not reading that.
They use
horse poo. Oh, manure.
Help a father. Help a father. No, she used Tiger Balm. Y'all know how she do. Y'all know how she do.
Yes.
All right now. I hear you, Tia. I see you, girl. So let's move on to the next thought. Did you have any thought about that?
No. I done been in trouble.
You asked the question, Key. What was your thoughts on it?
Oh, I chimed in. I think I just definitely, it was basically, why is it not important to focus? And I feel like, I try to stay in my lane, and I try to, even, outside of like related to the marriage, but just trying to follow scripture and not, be envious, or not even like pay attention to what, I want to see you win. I want to see you be great. I'm cheering you on, but I'm not like envious, or I'm not, wanting what you have, or, sitting over here on the sideline like, dang, I wish it was me that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if we focus more on what's important, then we really won't even have time to notice somebody else's grass.
Yeah.
So I said, mind your business.
Mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business.
But looking at it from a different angle, I want to, kind of throw this out there. Sometimes it also could be cues. There could be some things that, we may be lacking in. You know, so it's. I mean, I think it kind of depends on how you look at it. How you look at. I know you laughing at Miss Victoria's comments. It depends on how you look at what's going on. But for the most part, I think it is very important to stay in your own backyard because your backyard was created just for you.
Absolutely.
Created just for you. And no other yard is going to fit you. You're not going to like nobody else. Listen.
And I'm going to say this for all men out there. I don't hold my tongue. If you go over there and you get bit by a dog, you staying over there. I don't care. Should have been over there in the first place.
Okay. Since he's talking about dogs, let's go to the next thought.
Oh, I like that. That was a good. He didn't do that on purpose.
He didn't do that on purpose. The Holy Spirit, he got this. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks. A tiger never changes its stripes. There is a reason why there are so many cliches about the inability to change. You may want them to change, but remember this: encouraging someone to be their best self is an admirable quality of a supportive partner. But forcibly trying to change your spouse can do more damage than good, both for you and for your spouse. It's natural for couples to change and grow, but this is something that should happen naturally, not something you should exhaustively pursue. So you were going to say something?
Let me say this. See, this is one of the things, doing marriage counseling that I've come across, and it's one of the things that I've told people: look, this is going to be a pitfall for your marriage. I often have these questions of what do you like about your fiance? And then I have the questions of what do you don't like about your fiance? And a whole lot of times I will have, and especially not picking on women, but this comment especially comes from women. I don't like when he does this, but it's going to change after we get married. For some reason, they go into something that as soon as they say I do, that somebody is going to change. And they're only going to change if they want to change. But when you go in with that mindset that I'm going to change you, you're going to get disappointed. You're going to get hurt. You're going to be all twisted up because I've been trying to change him and he just won't change. And so when we look at this thing, as we grow together, we do change. There are some changes that happen because we always tell people that first 5 years. The first 5 years are the hell years.
Lord,
the first 5 years are the years you'll be wondering, why did I do this? God, I prayed, and why didn't you not tell me that they were crazy? It's the first 5 years.
No, we in 10. She's still crazy.
Okay. You know what, bro? I don't know what to tell you now. But anyway.
But it's a crazy. That's where that glue come into play.
It's that molding time of now molding these two personalities, molding how these two people did their things separately, now trying to mold all of that together. And that's what brings about the change, but you can't force anybody.
Hey, big bro.
Wait a minute, because she didn't get the. Go ahead.
I didn't get to finish reading because you know what? He was real quick on the draw. Okay. It says, I vow to let you be who you want to be, not who I want you to be. And the quote that we have is, love is never about changing your partner or changing yourself. It's about accepting each other the way they are and try to improve, not your women, and try to improve not yourself or your partner, but your relationship. So my question is, do you agree with this quote? Do you agree with this quote? Why or why not?
I'm gonna jump in there on this one real quick before this guy goes, because he got a lot to say tonight. I think that, you know, when we go through couples counseling, you know, and that's why we didn't have the pleasure of going through with you guys. We went through with Pastor Gray.
We started with them.
Oh yeah. But I'm gonna say that, you know, I feel like as we move things along, and it was good, and you know, I'm sure that you guys is great as well. But I think that this is key. This is saying something really key, because if I would have really meditated on this and thought about it, not trying to change your partner or yourself really, but just accepting the way that they are, that probably would have saved me about 50-11 arguments about sex.
It would have been 50-11 arguments about something else. It don't even.
Girl, let
me tell you do know that
I'm gonna get in trouble with 801. So this is the last time y'all see me.
So I absolutely, you know, agree with it. You cannot change another person. That is, you know, one of the things that I kind of a takeaway, you know, for lack of a better word, that I try to carry with me, especially when, you know, people do you wrong, they offend you, whatever. You have to keep that in the forefront of your mind. You cannot control another person's actions. You can only control your own, you know. And so with that being said, if you focus on making your relationship stronger as opposed to the trivial things, them 5 years might not be as rough as they.
Listen. I can't even get with you on that. Them 5 years, y'all. Them 5 years. It just, and you know what? And it depends on the couple. Sometimes it could be 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, it depends on the couple. But 9 times out of 10, and we've seen it, them 5 years, if you make it through them first 5 years, you usually you okay. But yeah, them 5 years. What I want to add to that is that I'm glad that Phil did not try to change Jackie. He did not try to change me. What he does do is he encourages me. He speaks to the queen in me. He helps me to see myself in a different way, to see myself as that writer. You know what I'm saying? To see myself as a singer, to see myself as, you know, a preacher. Because listen, y'all, the early years, you know, and truth be told, I still struggle when it's time for me to preach. Y'all have seen me. I am a bucket of nerves. I mean, like, I'm like having like almost meltdowns, like, God, I can't believe you called me to do this. And you know, but he helps me, you know, he's my glue, so to speak. He encourages me, and not that he's trying to make me change, but he helps me to see, you know, my next. He helps me to see my new, my better. You know what I'm
saying?
I
can appreciate you saying all that, but I'm just letting you know you're not helping our cause, because they over here talking about us nagging, and you over here talking about, oh, he's so warm and fuzzy and bubbly and makes me feel so wonderful.
No. What I'm saying is what
I'm just teasing. I know
he doesn't, you know, and I thank God that he was one of these men that he doesn't, you know. Listen, don't go sticking your chest out. Y'all see him? Y'all see me like, man, I'm that dude.
I mean,
but in all honesty, no, he wasn't like that. And I think that because both of us had been married multiple times, we learned some things in those past relationships, in those past marriages, that, you know, we learned some things from those past relationships and those past marriages that have helped us, and, you know, helped us to be better husband and wives to one another. So,
all right, I'm sorry. I got to jump in here real quick because I don't want to miss any comments. James Spencer said she forgave him because she couldn't remember why she got mad in the first place.
I was hoping y'all was gonna go ahead and pass that one by. Okay.
No. And good evening, Sunshine. Hey, Pooh. Sunshine said, "What is a good example of a woman trying to change a man?"
What is a good example of a woman trying to change a man? You know what? What?
Y'all got one? Go ahead.
I was going to say.
Go ahead.
So listen for real though. If you
Just want him to pick up his socks.
No. I want to go deeper than that. If you meet a guy, okay, and this guy, he don't, let's say he's a trash man, okay, he's a trash man, but he going to work every day. He coming home, you know, he want to look out for you. He want to look out for, you know, make sure you got, you know, food on your table, a roof over your head, but he a trash man. And he was a trash man when you met him. You know, that's what he know, that's what he do. But you don't like the fact that he come home smelling like garbage. You want him to be
hard work.
Yeah, that man smell like hard work. You want him to be a businessman. You want him to, you know, go to work and wear a suit every day or whatever. So then you start nagging him. You got an attitude. You know, you constantly ding-donging on him about how he smell and how you tired about him leaving the house early in the morning and this, that, and the third, because you want him to have a different career.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way to help him.
Right.
A. And B, if that's what he want to do, and if that's how you met him, and that's what he's comfortable at doing, and that's his skill set, there are other ways about going about helping him to go to his next level. But if that's not the level that if he doesn't want to go to another level, you can't beat him up over the head. You got to love him on every level that he's on, no matter what it is. Speak to that king in him, right as the trash man that he is, because prayerfully what you're doing is you're helping him to be the best trash man he can be. Wash his clothes, pack him a lunch, set that alarm clock, stroke him, do whatever you got to do to make sure that he's being the best at whatever it is that he's doing. Because, and then sisters, listen, let me tell you, there is power in prayer. There is power in prayer. If you have concerns about the level that your spouse is on, and this is to the husbands and the wives, if you have concerns or the Lord has placed in your spirit that there's greater for him and there's another level and there's more for him out there, it is not your job to go nagging him or her about it. It is your job to go before the Lord. It is your job to lift it up to God and let God do the work. So many times we want to take it upon us to push and to pull and to nag. And you know, men, you can't tell a man something multiple times. You cannot say the same thing to a man multiple times, because what do? They feel like you nagging them.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all.
Then you're going to wear 2 pair of socks.
We don't necessarily see it as nagging. We don't see it as nagging.
The nagger does not see it as nagging, but the naggee does see it as
I call it loving encouragement.
Loving encouragement.
It is nagging.
But as you can see, they feel as though it is nagging. Sunshine, what's I can't quite see it on Key. Can you see what Sunshine
True,
said?
I totally agree. That is called nagging. Nagging, see?
That's what she said.
Yeah, there it is. I put it up there.
Oh, no, sis.
Sunshine, no!
Never take their side.
Never. It's a sisterhood. Did you get anything from the meeting last night?
Yeah.
See, brother, they having meetings against us. You see what's going on?
Yeah, see. Oh, so now I see what it is. Women's ministry is actually the He Woman
Hater Club.
The He Woman Men Haters Club. That's what it is. We're going to ban this thing.
Y'all terrible.
Keep go ahead.
You got any comments before I move on? Okay, I think we can.
We're gonna have a church board meeting and shut this thing down, go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so next up, because we rolled it, when we have fun, the time goes by too quickly. So I'm gonna move right along to lies. So lies are culprits of painful marriages. We spend our entire lives with this person. Outside circumstances have come and will come that threaten the marriage. Life happens. While outside forces are not in our control, choosing honesty so that we have open communication in our marriage is. How can we be a team if we are not on the same page? How can we strategize our next best move if all the cards aren't on the table? In order to work together, we have to be real with one another. This way we can embrace each other, link arms, and face life as one. So number 6 is, I vow to be courageously honest, even when the truth is hard. The next quote states, a good marriage, I'm gonna let you go first, baby. A good marriage takes effort, and honesty is a definite prerequisite. A good marriage takes effort, and honesty is a definite prerequisite. And that is by Julie Garwood. So question 6 is, how hard is it to be completely honest with your spouse, especially with touchy subjects or ones that may be hurtful or offensive? What you got?
What was the second part?
Huh? How hard is it to be completely honest with your spouse, especially with subjects that might be hurtful or offensive?
As you grow in your marriage and in your relationship, and as you become closer, and you're going to experience a lot of different things. I had a situation earlier in the year. You guys were both a part of this, and I told my wife a lie because I didn't want it to hurt her feelings and her feel like disappointed in me for the judgment that I made. At the same time, it kind of was more so about when she found out, she was more so hurt that I didn't come to her first instead of, just being honest and say, hey, this is what happened, such and such. So once again, fellas, I was wrong, but then it went to all the other times where she possibly would have thought about me telling the truth or telling a lie. See, there's situations that's going to occur in your marriage where someone's going to do something that you like, well, if you're going to lie now, then you probably were lying then, or when you lie again. So it's just better to be honest in the first place.
That's when them receipts pop out that you was talking about
earlier. But shouldn't even be no receipts. But I'm
just saying, you're completely, and just to piggyback off of what you're saying, it is the truth. And in that moment, you couldn't really understand because you're like, okay, we're talking about one thing. So how are you comparing it to, and now I'm just like a whole liar, but, realizing that, how people say a tiny lie or a white lie or whatever it is they want to call it. There's no such thing, and we try to sugarcoat it, butter it up, whatever it is. Back to the word again, a sin is a sin no matter, how big or small. And so with that being said, being truthful, I feel like is always the best thing to do. And yes, to answer the second part, even when it hurts, because I'd much rather hear it from you than from somebody else. I'm going to receive it better. It might sting and I might be like, oh, dang. But if it's like, you're concerned about like my weight or something like that, that might be hurtful to me to hear because I'm going to be like, oh, he thinks I'm fat. But at the same time, you're concerned for health reasons. You know what I'm saying? And your voicing that concern could be the thing to make me start to work at it. You know what I mean?
No,
so
hey, listen, fellas, there ain't no way.
I'm not saying.
Say.
Y'all, please don't tell your spouse they're fat. And he never did that. But I'm just saying, I was just using that as an example.
Don't do that one, brother. Hey, baby, for health reasons, I think you should lose some weight. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll be in trouble.
And see, I have a different point of view on things like that. Although we don't share the same point of view on things like that, I feel as though that there's nothing that he can't tell me as long as he says it to me in the right way.
What's the right way?
I was about to say, my big sister that I love so much. I cry. I don't cry, and you know that. I don't cry too much. I cried in front of my big sister, all tears, snot and all. My big sister say perception is reality.
Perception
So
is reality.
with that being said, who's to say what is the right way? If I say, you know what, baby, there's been a long, line of, diabetes in your family. I really think it's time for you, start thinking about you losing some weight. And
that is the right way.
But to who? To you? But of course, you're all that matters. But to someone else, you say that, and all they heard was, "I'm fat." Well, what you mean? I need to lose some weight? You ain't that skinny yourself. So you gotta be careful and what you say.
I agree with what you're saying.
I agree.
If you know your spouse,
right,
then you should know
the way right there.
You should know the way.
That's perfect. If you know your spouse. But do you really know your spouse?
Miss Victoria said, "Call me fat, and we got a problem."
You know what? Always tell guys this. There's a question that your wife may ask you, and whatever you do not answer this question. There is no right answer. You find a way to get away from it. And that question is, if she puts on something and says, "Do I look fat in this?" Do not answer that question. Yes or no, they are both wrong. Do not answer the question. Walk away. Run away.
My thing is that I feel like if I put on something, and I generally don't have this issue, but there has been occasions through the 16 years of marriage that 16 years of marriage and then the year we were together beforehand, but I put on something and thought, oh yeah, this look all right. I'm going out. I'm cute. I'm good out. If it don't look right, don't let me go outside.
No.
Tell me.
No, listen to the question. If she says, "How do I look in this?" you can answer that question. But if she says, "Do I look fat in this?" do not answer that question.
So
there is no right answer.
If you say no, you don't look fat, you're lying. You know good and well.
So wait a minute.
I mean, I do that to you all the time.
I gotta ask this, and then we're gonna go to Tia's question, Tia's comment. So what you're saying is, if you look at her, if you look at me, and okay, so we're gonna say her. If you look at her and you see that she looking like a can of biscuits, great pop out, one of them, one of them bodycon dresses or this, that, and the third. You just gonna let her. You just gonna be like, what you want to say?
Here's the question: if she says, "Do I look fat in this?" she already has something in mind. If she asks, "How do I look in this?" that's open. But if she says, "Do I look fat in this?" she already has something in mind.
And we're not gonna pick the right answer.
Really and truly, she's looking for you to step on that landmine.
Listen, there's been days where I told my wife,
"We're not trying to set
you look great in that." Oh, really? I don't know. It's all right.
Okay, so we're gonna buzz by this. We're gonna buzz by this because you trying to get me in trouble. You trying to set me up right now. So because we're gonna go ahead and buzz by this. Tia Parker said, "Yeah, I gotta get away from this one, y'all. I gotta get away from this one." What did Tia say? What Tia say?
Go ahead.
I think Tia Parker says, "I think you have to be familiar with the level of brokenness your spouse has across the board and deal with them from that place in wisdom." Girl, you are so right. And I have to. And I think that may be one of the reasons why Phil stands on, stands firmly on this topic. Because my first husband, listen, y'all, okay, I gained over 350 pounds. Okay, I was over 350 pounds after my last child. Okay, and so I gained a lot of weight through the years that him and I was married. But he was constantly, always on me about my weight. I'm not attractive. He, didn't find me sexy. Whatever it was, he was always, and he was mentally, emotionally, verbally abusive, and it all, was around from that. I mean, he would do things like hide food. he would do things like buy me exercise equipment, you know, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And so that brokenness, yes, that did a whole self-esteem issue to me. Praise God, the Lord has, you know, I declared deliverance from it. Okay. But it did do something to me. And I think when Phil came along, granted, I was no longer 350 pounds, thank you, Jesus. But when he came along, it was some things that he had to help love me back to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, Tia, yes, that's a whole.
Wait a minute.
And real quick, hold on. Miss Victoria said her husband is so blunt, there is no right way. So I accept his comments and don't choke him out.
They gonna call them people on your mama.
Girl, they come to the door. Listen, you put it out there. They gonna check on him, make sure he ain't tied up somewhere.
I need to call Mr. Lynn right after the show.
We had another comment. We had another
You all right, Miss Bennett? You all right?
Sunshine says, see, that is not right at all. Yeah, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. But you know what? It was a journey and a road that I had to travel. And it was a testimony that God was giving me so that I could help somebody else. And it was, I'm thankful for that time period in my life because I feel as though it has helped me to be a better Jacqueline. So, yes.
And also on top of that, you have now a husband who is going above and beyond, you know, to just to make up for it and you know, make you feel extra special. And so, you know, that's the funny thing about God is how, you know, it seems like sometimes the very thing that he puts you through, you wind up like being blessed so much greater later on in life with that very thing coming back around. So oh, give me chills.
He good apples. He good apples. He good apples. Now you are. Oh my gosh, we're at the top of the hour already. Kid, we got one more good one in there.
Yeah, you want to do you want to do teamwork or you want to do dream work?
Teamwork is
do
dream
whichever
work.
one you desire. Because you closing us out. You do whichever one you desire.
All right. So we're going to say marriage teamwork is a feeling of togetherness, mutual support, and unity on multiple fronts, including finances, parenting, chores, sex, and emotional intimacy. Usually, marriage teamwork requires intentional effort of both partners, along with a willingness to share power on all topics. So number 8, that's closing us out. I vow to face new decisions as a team. I dare say I vow to face all decisions as a team. Proverbs 27:17, NIV version says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So keeping in mind the things that we noted above, finances, parenting, chores, sex, emotional intimacy, how important do you think it is to involve your spouse in the decision-making process?
I don't know. I'm a man. I don't get no decisions.
Hey, y'all know what I say.
I can't.
Listen.
Y'all know what I say, you know.
Really, sir?
Y'all ask me on the show. I'm telling you.
We talk about, people ask me, well, Pastor Phil, what about, I say, don't ask me. I'm just the pastor. Talk to the boss.
Gun line, bro.
But with that being said, both of y'all just said the same thing. But don't say that you don't have no decision and you don't have no say so.
Right.
I was about to say,
Right.
choosing not to give input and being offered the opportunity is.
So listen, fellas, you got the red pill and the blue pill of the Matrix. So they're gonna give you the red pill, so you think that you have any say in the matter because the decision's already been made. How do you feel about this, baby? Or you know what? I think we should do this. Well, listen, I already did whatchamacallit. I was going to see what you were going to say. Yeah.
Who does that?
We do.
Is right.
We do. Listen, I'm sorry, kid.
You know how I didn't know. Hold up, hey Phil, hey
But
brother,
it's not all
hey
the
bro.
time.
This me and you, hey bro.
Yeah.
Before this started, did you know we was gonna be on here every third, fourth Friday of the Oh, all right, that was decided before. Oh, you see that face you got right there?
Here's the thing.
See, you was about to stick up for
thing.
it. That's what you get. You was about to stick up for it.
See, here's the thing.
All the way under the bus.
I used to have an uncle growing up, and when he asked a question, he already knew the answer. So he just wanted to see what you were gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of times that goes on. I know what I want to do. I know what we are gonna do. I'm gonna give you the opportunity, but it don't really mean nothing.
But when you've been together for
That's
long
not
enough,
always true.
when you've been together long enough and you know your spouse, you know that when she leaves and go up Jackie's house, come back, you know something's going on that you got to do in the next upcoming weeks. You just got to learn your spouse.
You know what? I gotta get these comments in. Deandra is watching. I love you so much. Thank you always for your support. She said her husband just says, yes, honey. And that makes me laugh because the same thing with my parents. My dad, yes, dear. And it's so dry and so like, but you know, when they, I think that sometimes they just want to just.
It's the beginning of time.
I mean,
eat the apple. I'm not eating the apple.
Oh, you know what?
I'm not eating the apple.
We're not
Give me the apple.
We're not even going there.
Now we both homeless.
And Miss Victoria said it's extremely important, although sometimes they don't want to be involved. And that's all I'm saying. We being transparent out here. Don't be having nobody thinking that I just be doing what I want.
It ain't that we don't want to be involved.
I was about to say
the decision has already been made.
That's not
That
always
is
true.
so not true.
It's not always true. That's not always true.
It's not
Oh my
always
God.
true. You are absolutely right.
I feel attacked.
It's not always
It's
true.
not always true.
And the only reason you feel attacked because that's that guilt.
That's conviction.
No, that's knowing that even if I have an idea in my mind, like I know how he is. My husband is so like easy to please. He's
Right.
so he just doesn't. It's not that he doesn't care, but he just normally yes.
I don't even care.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying that's not. Look, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help you. You got about 2 minutes.
Listen, I'm here for you and God. They can't say nothing about me.
Listen, I'm saying it's not that we always have it. We might have an idea of what we want, but when I come to you and I say, baby, how do you feel about this? I am truly and genuinely wondering how you feel about this. I'm not saying, well, I don't care what he say because I already, he don't know. I didn't put the money to the side.
See?
I didn't call and set up the meeting. I didn't talk to the people.
She's already saying what she had already
Thank
done.
you. I'm not saying you don't come to me. Thank you. I'm not saying you don't come to us and ask us how we feel about things, but 9 out of 10 times your decision has already been made. I want to hear your input, but I only want to hear your input.
Well, that's because I plan like 12 months in advance. So I might, but I mean, if you say, no, baby, I don't think we should do that right now, then all my planning is going out the window because if you say no, it's no.
It's no.
Let
me see your Amazon account.
Drops Mike.
Let me see your Amazon.
Whoa.
So
we're not talking about Amazon right now.
No, I said no is no. I say no, and I get a package on my step about this big. Hey, Key, I don't think we should do that right now. Who is it? It's Amazon. All right.
Didn't you just say our pastor is here and you sitting here telling lies? What number was lies? You on here? He lying, y'all.
I literally just told her real quick before we get off. I literally just told her don't buy them nothing else. No, baby. The kids, right? Perfect timing. The jump. I literally said don't buy them nothing else. All right, you know what? You right because they don't appreciate that. And she come home with headphones. She come home with doll babies.
For school.
Doll babies for school?
Yes, she's a teacher and she has her whole classroom set up in her room. All right, So real quick, Tia Parker said, any words of advice or encouragement for women who are single over 40?
Say that again.
Tia says, do we have any advice or words of encouragement for women who are single over 40?
Can I speak to this?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just continue to be yourself, Queen. You got to remember that a person will not be attracted to you unless you are confident in yourself. Besides, you can't even be happy with that person unless you're happy with yourself. So until you find, your time, when people say, oh, I'm looking for someone, in that meantime, just make sure you get a chance to figure out who you truly are and what you want out of life. Because when you start looking for someone, you might look for the wrong things. But when God sends someone your way, he's going to send what's for you. But you have to know what you want out of life before he sends anybody your way. But just continue just being you. Y'all queens.
And that's the truth. And it's not, it sounds cliche to say, but that really and truly, when you go out looking for things, that is when you kind of come into the wrong type of people, or, they come just like he said. And I know you on a personal level, so I already know you are 1,000% authentically you.
Yes.
Say it loud for the people in the back, the front, the side. You are the same always. So you got that part down. But just I'm gonna say, get out there a little bit. I know
It's COVID. Put the mask.
Get out there with your mask. But all jokes aside, you're so busy caring and nurturing and loving on us, and we appreciate you. We really do. You can do that and still make time to mingle, boo. We gonna talk about this off air, but yes,
Tia,
we got you.
Yeah, what I want to say to you, sis, is, are you ready? Because you have to make the decision within yourself that I'm ready. You've got to know that you really are ready. So make sure that as you are, loving on yourself and getting out there, but make sure that you know that you are ready. And what I would listen, I am big on this. I'm real big on this. Make a list. The word of God says, write the vision and make it plain. Write the vision and make it plain. Be very specific. Be very detailed in what it is that you want. Because once we reach a certain age, those of us over 40, those of us over 50, we get a little set in our ways. We have some specific do's and don'ts, some things that we want, some things that, what we need, and this, that, and the third. And we have a tendency to, say, oh, I want this and I want that, and forget about what it is that we really, really want. Don't think about the surface. Don't think about just, oh, I want him tall, dark, and handsome. I want him fine and, a good grade of hair, wavy, this, that, and the third. All that, he going bald, sister.
Hey.
All that kind of stuff. Put that out the way, But you really want to think about what it is. What do you want him to be romantic? Do you want him to hold your hand when you're walking in, in the grocery store? Little things like that. Be specific. So that's what
right.
That I would say.
You get to a certain age. See, I need a woman who knows the sign of stroke. And
my God.
When she see my mouth all twisted up, she go, oh, you have a stroke. Well, let me come over. Let me help you.
Not your traditional church. Lord have mercy.
Hey, brother.
No, you ain't got to be all fine. You ain't got to be all cutesy. Have all this apple bottom booty. You need to know what stroke looks like.
I'm just glad you cleared it up, because I wasn't even going to touch that when you first said it, because I was left that one alone.
Oh my God. Lisa McDaniel said, my advice to you, Tia, is if a man asks what you're looking for in a man, don't tell him, because he might say he is what you just said. Tell him you will see and let him show you who he is. Go ahead.
I don't know. Listen, they might put on, I'm going to be honest. I got sisters. I have a mother. I have a wife. I love my women. I respect my women. But these guys out here sometimes is creeps. So you just make sure you study the signs, because even if he show you who he is, he might be the stepfather. If you ever seen that movie, I'm just letting y'all know right now.
And I'm going to say this last thing, and then I'm going to let Key close out. when you start dating, and this is to anybody listening, man, woman, whatever, do seasons, do the 4 seasons. Everybody changes with the season. You need to, before you go, trotting yourself down an aisle or whatever, you need to know, do he have issues when the fall and the winter come around? You need to know, what does he like in the summer? What does he like? Is he a party hound come the summer or the spring? You need to date them for the 4 seasons before you get connected, get married or whatever. So that's my suggestion. Okay.
I love that. Date them for the 4, all 4 of them. You got to get through the heat, the cold, and the in-between. Yes. I love it.
And for my brothers out there, you can't do the same thing every season. I'm telling you right now, you better learn. You better learn the different types of, you go to Hunger in the winter, it's good. You go to Hunger in the summer, it's too hot, move over. So you better learn them.
Oh, that's sad.
Close this out,
Kitty. All right. And sorry, Deandra said, just stay true to you and know what you want. Don't settle. You know your worth and stick to it.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. We have surpassed the top of the hour. Y'all know how we do on Victory Talk. We might run over a little bit sometime. It is all good. It is all in fun. It is all in love. It is all in education and fellowship. We want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in this evening for our marriage edition. We look forward to seeing you guys back right here in this spot next Friday night for Hot Topics. Y'all know Hot Topics is my favorite, y'all, and it's some stuff going on every day. Okay, so tune in every Friday night for myself and Lady J. You got anything?
Love y'all. Have a good weekend.
And thank you so much to our spouses for being so supportive, such good sports, and just, being our right and our left. Amen. So we just want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we will see y'all next time. Love y'all to life, and we mean it. Good night.
Good night.